Hey gang, we are back at it again. Coming out here to pretty much look at this map. So I made this map the other week for an encounter with a dragon. I use another resource for the interior map, but kind of wanted to turn this map into a few variations of something. So I'm gonna return to my maps. Don't save. Because right now we've got. I'm gonna create a folder. Create new folder. Oh, we also got Klaus here. Look at Klaus. He's a cute little guy. Don't know how he works or what happens with him. I think I need like bits or something. I don't think I even have like, access to that yet. So for now, he's just a little guy who hangs out here. Named after Klaus the cat, who befriended character. Where is the thing that I'm looking at? I wish this was organized. Not by name, but okay, here we go. Shadow Realm Flowers, Shadow Realm Foggy. Alright. Creating our folder. We got these two maps here, right? And if we look at this one, you know, we've got a kind of foggy area. There's some flowers out there. And if we go to this one, it's a little more, it's like a cave entrance more than anything else. So you can kind of see the variations there. Basically seeing what I mean. So we're gonna edit this one. I'm gonna take out these bones. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna change this. Change all of this. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. Maybe even just adding a little bit of this green to the... too much green. Less green. Okay, cool, cool. So I want the interior in here. All of this be more brown. Start to see that. Too much, too much, too much. Get a little lighter. Want it to be faint. Make it seem like something's come through here, but you know, color. Dirt. Get some dirt in the middle there. All right. Basically, I just want to remove some of this flatness that's here. We're gonna get some. Let's get some forest. Got gray lights. We've got grass. This is bushes. Don't really like this because this is what it looks like. Let's see. Even if we add this in like a layer kind of way, let's kind of add some texture to this. Okay, it's not exactly what I'm going for, but like I said, it removes some of that. Not too much there. We remove some of that flatness. Okay. Add grass, lily pads, forest floor. I'm gonna use a little bit of forest floor. Just a little bit. Now you can kind of see that there's a little bit of texture here. Maybe something's grown under there. This floor, there's this floor. Okay. Here we go. Moss? Fallen leaves. Oh, okay. So I'm kind of imagining like a bear's den here. You know, that's why it'll be like a little bit like fall over here. I can take out some of these dead trees. Maybe we can still keep some dead trees. But we could also put over here, get to our stamps. I'm gonna type tree because that was the easier. And there's gotta be autumn trees here, right? Fall trees. There we go. And we'll just do random stamps. Okay. One here, one here. We'll keep some bare. But I think this will be good for the fall. And nice little trees. Then we go back to our textures. And what I'll do is I'll just paint. I'll increase the opacity a bit. Let's see how this looks if I increase the brush size. Okay. Not bad. Definitely around here, I want to make it look like, oh, this tree lost all of its leaves. Some of them are falling. Okay, that's cute. All right, so now we've got some color here on our map. We've got a little bit of a story. We know that it's fall based on, you know, our trees. There's some dirt there. I still want to mix this up a little bit. But we can continue adding twigs and stones. Perfect. Let's put some twigs and stones on. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the texture. What if I make the texture bigger? What does that do? How's that look? No. Let's go with the other way. Take the texture smaller. Lower the opacity. I want there to be a little bits of other things here. Put this back to normal. And a lot of this is just figuring out, like seeing like, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. Let's make this smaller. Add a few branches down here. Oh, cancel. We're also going to save this as a clone later. Full. Just adding some branches down there. I think I'm going to change some of the color of this as well. Maybe that's what's bothering me about it. It's kind of got this watercolor look to it. Erase. Erase. Okay. So I think what I'll do is lower the saturation a little bit. Lower the darkness a little bit. There we go. Now it doesn't look as abrasive. I think with it standing out as kind of like watercolor. So now that looks a little more real. Or like at least it belongs here. Twigs and stones. There we go. I don't like that last one. But now it's starting to look like a little foresty area. So I imagine our party would come in through the south, come up forward, and come across this area here. I think I'm gonna make area over here, at least that brightness. We're gonna have a lower saturation. What is this song? On a second. What is this music? Let's see how this sounds like. Okay, that's not bad. Maybe not. This is the Cozy Collection. This feels like I'm about to start a series. Hello, this is the Designated DM, and you're listening to your favorite audio podcast. All right, this will work. So I'm just kind of making some of the grass down there, but I'm gonna make this area in the middle here. Go, there we go. That last line was a little too much. I want it to look like something comes through here. I think that kind of captures that. Let me know what you think. I feel like there's got to be a better way to show the elevation over here. Maybe if I get one of these nub ledges. Spin it around. And then move this up here. I don't know if I want to block this off or make it look like a ledge the players can climb up onto. Make this even smaller. That does kind of look like a ledge the players could get up to. Let's rotate this a little bit. We can rotate this a little bit. Wow, this music is crazy. Okay, push this into there. Okay, that looks a lot better as a ledge. I feel like you can kind of see better that it rises up. Let's take these stones out of here. Let's add another one of these bad boys. Man, such menacing music. I think this is why I didn't like this playlist, but that's okay. I think just putting that last little bit there is enough. So we're gonna say this as a loan. We're gonna call this Bear Cave. Let's call it the cave. The cave lair? Okay, saving. Okay. So we're now editing the saved copy. Now, what more do I want to add to make this feel more like a forest in the fall? Gotta have bushes. So we don't need trees. Go to forest. Flower bushes, fall bushes. Oh, there we go. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna make a auto select low density thing. And you'll kind of see why in a moment. Smaller. Place these. Little bushes. And then some ferns, some regular bushes, grasping vines, reeds, no, grass lines, mushrooms. Oh, we could get some little mushrooms. These will be even fewer in density. I don't really like how those look though. This is the other mushroom. That one. No, this is the other one. Make them a little smaller. And I'm also going to make them change their color a little. And I want to make sure that they're beneath everything else on the layer. Well, underneath everything. Got all these mushrooms growing around. Too many mushrooms though. Thing is, you have to be like, I don't know, conservative with your mushroom placement. This is why I use the random thing though here, because I don't know, there has to be a little bit of randomness to it for it to look right. If it looks too manicured, I always say it looks too human. But wolf tracks, buck tracks, hunting tracks. I was hoping there would be bear tracks, but you can kind of use these. So small. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is, so it's got no shadow. Isn't there a way to? Alright, so let's remove the saturation. Some of it. It's a saturation. It's not doing work. Okay, good. Let's get these. What about this track, man? Good. Lower it a little bit. No, that's not. I don't think that's what we want. Is it? I don't think so. And darken. This might be what I'm looking for. Not luminosity, but I do think screen. I do screen. I want it to look a little more like natural mud, or in a path, in a way where like, oh, we can see it. You can see it start to appear here, only because this area is looking a little more green. Once it starts getting to the mud, you start to see a little more clearly. It's out there. I feel like these steps are good. Okay. Looking pretty good. It's natural. They're big. Stumps should be That big. So I'm placing them here because everything I'm doing, like I'm still trying to tell the story with the map. I'm still thinking, okay, it's fall. This bear comes through here a lot. These trees are probably the trees it uses to scratch itself as it comes down. I think these need to be a little bit bigger in order for them to compare to the trees besides them. So it does insinuate that these trees grow a little closer than the rest of them would appear to. But that's okay. We'll move this guy over here, this guy up here. Again, all kind of directing our line of sight, right? Like the bear's coming through here. It also fills up the space a little bit more. But at the end of the day, our attention is going to be brought to central area here. Bear will presumably exit from. I think that's good. Now, let's look at everything else. Artisans, no. Camping, no. Barracks, no. No. Or I was thinking I would like some more like cracks in the ground. Dungeons, 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 door. Explosion marks. Alvin Holmes. Just be easy to scroll. Oh, see? Cat tracks. Pig tracks. Chicken tracks. Where are the bear tracks? I wanted. Okay. Rocky Hills? Nah. This is all gothic stuff in here. But I do like these flowers. Make them a little smaller. And then let's change their color a little bit. Make them more like fall flowers somehow. Interesting. I just want a little tiny, tiny bit of plant life. Oh. Okay. It's important that the map doesn't feel too cluttered. Or like there's too many little things that start to distract the eyes as they're looking through it. This is why I say like this process always takes a lot longer when I don't have when I don't have as clear of an image of what I'm looking for. Placement will be some more rubble over here. Saturation. Ando is hungry. Wish I knew how to feed this boy. See if there's something I can do with Klaus. Oh. Let's see. Just says Klaus. Designated DM says Klaus. Huh. Is there a way I can feed Klaus? thought that would do something, but apparently not. Okay. I'll figure out clouds later. Let's see how I like these ruins here. I think maybe just these are sufficient. Looks a little uneven. All right, we've got that. We've got that. Trains. Oh, this is new. Oh, they've added more train stuff. That's cool. All right, that's all the fantasy battle map stuff. So then I'm gonna add a light. Let's look for the lights. Here we go. Orange light. I think I'm gonna go for this orange light. First, I'm gonna take everything. I'm gonna lock everything. Control L. Yeah, okay. Nothing can be touched at this moment. Where's my light? This bad boy is huge. Rotate it to where am I rotating? I have the sun coming from this way? Could have the sun coming from this direction, but I think it would look better maybe. I don't know why, but this area up here just feels like the top of the map. Plus, it casts more shadow down this way. I'm gonna need that cliff actually. This music is not it. Okay, that's a little better. Cliff, 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 cliff. Cliff, 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 cliff. Cliff, cliff. Here we are. We need a shadow. Layer shadow. There we go. Lower that intensity just a slight bit. Okay, just because, like I said, we've got the sun coming from this side, so we want the shadow to be indicating that information. All the rest of the stuff is indicating the same information. So that's all good. Everything's in alignment. Let's look at our light. We can remove the saturation, increase the saturation. We can increase the brightness, right? See how that affects our thing here. But I kind of like the warm tones of it. If it's got over here, get that brightness. Maybe just make it bigger. Now this feels more like autumn, but it's not quite right. It's affecting the thing with light and colors. Oh, hey, Martin. He says, welcome, Klaus. Friendly little. It's warm rubber pile. Oh, did you? Oh, you did respond to it. Hey, Martin. The cool thing about the Klaus is that he actually changes colors the more he levels up, and then he'll eventually become a little black cat. So that's why I named him Klaus in advance. But just working on this map right now. I want to make like variations of this map since yeah, I'm gonna remove this actually. Now I just feel like a good map. I can see when I'm feeling inspired and I feel like I can make something quickly and like, oh good, I've got ideas. So I feel like it's just better to latch onto that when you can. rather than trying to fight it. These cliffs are very influenced by the light here. But what I was gonna say was, if you had a basic outline of your bastion, I could show you how to do stuff here. Um, you know what I could do with the opacity? It's this one right here. I don't like that this one gets affected by the light being there or not, because it starts to turn like this brownish color while this stays gray, and that is upsetting. Change the hue. That's not really gonna help. I want desaturation, brightness. That's not bad. Not bad. Make it darker. This has the feel of autumn in a weird way. Too strong. So I can make it feel more green. Don't like that edge there. But if we get it to like we keep saturation, what if we lower opacity? Barely there. It's too strong though. Okay, we keep it smaller. I also don't need to use this light. Use the other ones. All right. Let's look at. See, so we got this light, and this light is a little more directed. See what I'm saying? A little more like this, which we can almost control. Oh, what is this music? Oh my! I need to find a way better source for. Oh, did I have one actually? Where was that? Because, man, oh man. I need something to listen to. Like, music drives my creative process so much. Let's see. There was something I was a website I went to. It wasn't bad. Hmm. This is like a. Hmm. hear how this sounds.
Streambeats.net.
Wow, that's really loud.
Streambeats.net. Streambeats.net.
Streambeats.net.
.net.
Okay, so I think it's doing that because I haven't purchased the previous.
Streambeats.net.
I've gotta find a better thing. It's gonna. I just hate that, like, I can't listen to the music I like without being copyright stricken or having my audio messed up. Sorry for the midstream intermission here. But if I have to listen to like one more terrible copyrighted song. It's just the ones that sound so clearly like produced. Chops. Licensed remixes of cover song. See? It's playing. Oh, I blew. We license the video game compositions used in our music. These are tunes to Creative Commons. You can stream and download Game Chops music on live platforms. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Oh, that is a million times better. Coffee Treeway Coffee Date. Eat chill. How hilarious. Acoustic ambiance. Gotta catch 'em all. Coffee Dates Lo-Fi. Pokemon Remix. Sonic and Sleep. I could listen to some Sonic. Pokemon Lo-Fi beat. It's awesome. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly the kind of thing I needed to find because. Oh, that's good. Okay. Where were we? The light. The dang light. Let's still do it this way. Okay. No, take that out right away. Oh. There. Hey there now. What's this? Another light? What the heck? I have 2 orange lights right now? Other light. Oh, this light. Okay, I see. Okay. Actually, this is not actually a bad idea. I can do this. Kind of concentrate in the middle where the light is. Influence a little bit more its direction. So the reason I'm focusing on all this is because now when I go to the filters, see, I can do God rays. And I'm gonna make the opacity a little lighter. It's faint, but if you look closely, you can see it. And it's just meant to add that effect. This light up here, I'll kind of show you what I mean in a second. Let's save this though. So I'm going to show you one map with the lighting and without the lighting. So I'm gonna take these lights off. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm gonna take these lights off. I'm gonna take the God rays off, and we're just gonna export this map as an image. Skip saving. Cool. We're gonna put the God rays back on. We're gonna put lights back. I should God rays on. Okay. So we're gonna add more filters. Overcast. No. Rain vignette. Those don't really feel applicable. Cool and warm. Yeah, it's good. Now, do we want the saturation, sharpness, and clarity? Clarity is the one I always like. But I think having a little bit helps. Tiny. Sharpness. Again, hard to see, but it is noticeable. And just overall, I just don't prefer as much sharpness. Saturation, it's fine. Increase it, make it heavier. Just increase it aside a little bit. Just because that'll affect everything, saturation. I don't know. It's like cool and warm. So this is what this does. So you see, you can feel everything there. Now it's all cool and warm. So the main reason I feel like the filters can really change things is because you're adding that kind of layer of coloration to everything. And the same with like the shadows and the trees and stuff like that, and it makes it just seem it's like more as like one cohesive image. Kind of don't like how many tree trunks there are. Stop. Just want to remove like 3. You're gone. You're gone. Let's take this one, move it down here. This one. Here. This guy up here. This feels a little more balanced. So let's export. Let's save this one as the final save. Awesome. Chaos Garden. Casino Night Zone. Oh, that is sick. Okay, so you look at my so let's export this one. And I'll show you what I mean by the filtered versus the unfiltered one. Okay, so there you go. You should be able to see. You lower it. Just extend it so it fits in here. I'll just make it large. All right, but hopefully you can kind of see the point of what I'm talking about here. Granted, this one does look a little more overcast. But there's something about this one that feels flat. This one without the light feels a little dead. Even as we zoom out and you see like the trees. And look. This is what I was saying. This is what I meant to. Look at over here. Like this just feels a little bit cluttered. I took out a few trees, a few of the stumps over here. You can just kind of feel like it's just like there's a little bit more of a natural path. And as much as you want, as often as you can, you kind of should be like, I don't know, like designing things in that way. Like, of course, you want, you know, the sandbox experience and players to be able to go wherever they want. But at the same time, I feel like when it comes to art, like there are certain things that humans just naturally are inclined to do and are just naturally just lean towards. And that's why like direction in cinematography is so important, because from one scene to the next, our eyes tend to look onto a place in the screen, and you can use that to have our audience use their eyes to follow across. And so in the same way, like I would place my characters down here and I'd say, you're starting area, you're getting up here, and I would want them to naturally kind of see this noise on the sides of them and naturally bring their eye line up to the sensor, seeing this open area, which looks, you know, pretty purposefully like a ring or an arena, an open space, and then this cave back here. So between that one and this one, that's the difference. To me, that's what makes the maps look much better. Okay, thank you. When you can let's lock everything. You can really feel like the light thing. So now we've got a little bit of a collection. Save and leave. You can kind of see how they evolve. It's like the basic one, right? It's got those old dead trees. I've got this Shadow Realm flowers foggy here, and I've got this cave lair for the fall. I'm probably gonna rename them to just like cave lair, and just make different layers essentially. Actually, just yeah, let's see. The cave lair shadow realm. Here that the Shadowfell is the more popular one. It's the Shadow Realm. I'll probably still change it, because even you can kind of see it, just as I've done. There's little things you can do, like tweaks, like I added these little edges over here to just make it seem a little bit more like these are top. You can see I changed the position of the rocks a bit. This one has flowers, this one doesn't. Obviously they're different locations. They can feel a little bit different too, but still, cave lair, shadow. I'm just gonna call this one the cave lair. Basic. I love this song so much. Okay, so I feel pretty good. We made a pretty good map in that time, because literally we just did that during this stream here. And like I said, the main thing with this is just oh, okay. If you got a copy from when you were level 5, Martin, I don't know. Yeah, you can send me. We work on that. It'll be fun. Because it's really not that hard. It's like I said, like I was telling my daughter, like with everything, it's really just the more time you put into something, you know, the better output you'll get. I might do a watercolor battle map for a Bastion, just because there are certain things that are kind of set, but it depends on what kind of feel you're going for. But really, you're going to want to look at the battle maps. The battle maps, because the world maps, like, they're going to look like this. That's not going to be helpful. Wow, that is beautiful. I wonder if I should do my... Like, I get the point of all these things on the outsides, but, like, it just always feels like so much wasted space. Watercolor cities, kind of top-down view of the cities, larger settlements. I use this very often. There's fantasy regional. This is like kind of that third person view. What do you call this? 3/4 angle? Castlevania? No, it's not Castlevania. Isometric. There we go. And Parchment World. Let's go with this for now. We'll go with landscape. And I would recommend for somebody who is just getting started, doesn't really know exactly what to do, or doesn't have a clear image in mind, start with a blank page and just take your stamp tool, your brush layer, and just fill the whole thing. Most of the stuff is going to be here in the basic. You don't need to have like everything advanced. You just want to have all of the you just want to have all like the experimental stuff. So let's say got our green area here. I would put a grid. Since you're making something that's, I have a page with 4 squares on it currently. So I would take a grid and kind of decide how big each space is, right? Like, we don't want to have it be like one room is one grid. We also don't want to have it be like, you know, each room is 50 grids or something. But it just kind of helps a bit. You can do isometric grid, you can do hex, and you can change the shapes too. Mine's a little less clear. I really don't like grid if it's not apparent already. There's just something about it that really bugs. I just feel like when I'm seeing the grid, I can't see anything else. I feel like one of those like big creatures where they're like throw, or like a vampire where they're like throw rice on the floor, they have to count it, and I'm like, there's lines, my eyes need to follow them. But let's say we start just from this basic step, right? We've got our core stuff. Let's just look at the core and see what we can make with that, right? Or small. So everybody who has the basic stuff will have the core. And if we're doing a bastion, you know, let's see if there's another. Got a Pokemon one. That's pretty cool. Zelda and Jazz. Jubilife Village. Such great mixes. Might be like the best discovery for. Okay, relaxing Pokemon Lo-Fi beat. Gotta be. Ocarina of Time is the first one. So, the Deku Trio. How cool. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, Silk Core. So let's say we've got our bastion. Let's just say that each of these squares are 10 feet. Right? There's squares though. So we can click on them. You can go to advanced settings, go to transform. You can make it so that they will fit like exactly inside these squares, right? You can adjust the little dials there. And all you have to do is just make another one. You rotate it 90 degrees. It's already the perfect shape. I'm assuming that in the corners there's going to be some kind of like, I don't know, what do you call them? Columns, something like that, you know? Bam, bam. I'm just copying and pasting. And then we get column. Oh, we might need to open up the guys. That's not what I thought this was going to look like. Dungeon? Pillars. This is what I was looking for. Pillar. 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 And all I'm doing, if you look at like my little arrow, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me. My little crosshairs, I'm lining it up with the arrow on the wall, and I'm lining the top one with the arrow on the wall, and that just helps me place it evenly. It doesn't need to be perfect. But just like that, we have a room. And we can go back here. What the hell are doors? I must be blind because I do not see door. Fireplace. Stair. Come on. Oh, there's wooden door there. Then wall. Okay, so we didn't need to make our thing out of door. I mean, out of stone. I mean, come on. What did we? This short stone shelf. So this is the other thing too. You gotta improvise. That's one thing I've learned. You gotta improvise. But this stone shelf, it sure looks like a door when I put it like that. So I'm transforming its shape, making it a little bit wider. Damn. So just like this, you can make little modular little rooms. And what we can do is start to connect them together. Look at this. Oh God. Okay, that was terrifying. And then I'm just gonna make this on the top of the layer. Oh. And then of course, let's just say we've got these 3 rooms. Doors. I can put another door over here. That doesn't look like too much, but we can start to more changes. So first, let's grab these regular walls and our maybe we grab these. Bottom wall. I can just copy this whole thing here. just like that, I've got a much larger area. It's like this. Definitely gonna have a lot more, of these guys than I need. I also like that this lets you actually toggle things. And I tell you how frustrating it is when I'm like trying to find the perfect angle and it's like, nope, we're not gonna give it to you. So I'm just gonna take a look, make sure that everything's on the right layer. So we've got this, and let's just say that this was like a small room and this was like a moderate one. We're gonna lock all this. Now I can't interact with it anymore. That's just Control Out. So just to keep me from accidentally fumbling around with these things. And we can get like really close in here. We can get really zoomed out. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my masking options. This just kind of separates our layers. So you see this kind of separation here. And that just means that when we're doing our brushing, we can do the background or the foreground. Right now, this is the foreground. And if I was to change that, you can see that I can paint over here, nothing happens, but my foreground does change. So you can use that to kind of help you to paint things that you may want to paint without having to get like all crazy. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna mask out these areas. Okay, in order for us to be able to see the mask though, I'm gonna fill the top layer. That's the background. Okay, Control Z is the best friend. So we've just filled the foreground. It doesn't look like it because nothing's happened yet. So we're gonna remove. There we go. You can just use your brush for this. You don't need to do what I'm doing. This is just making it neat to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. But drag this. Oh no. Let's take this, bring it down to here. Okay. So now that's painted the color of that, but we can go into our, let's just say you've got nice dark fancy wood down here. I can do the same thing. I can go to my little square. I can fill the square. I can go fill. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to fill. I want to click apply. Let's say that's your little opening area. Your little place where you have you welcome your guests or something. There should probably be more doors in here. But we can sort that out. Pillar, self, where are you? Let's copy you, paste you here. Just so that maybe one of these rooms could be like your bedroom or something. Maybe like that is, or maybe that is, yeah. We'll remove that. This one here. Maybe this is the bedroom. This is like your little area where you meet people. Maybe this is your larger room. We've got this little up there. We'll mess around with that. Let's say you're I don't know, training or something. Give it this sort of background. You can also change the texture. So I want this texture to look a little smaller. So I can fill it in there again, and you can see what I mean. The texture got a lot smaller. So I don't know what the scale we're looking at is. And then for the personal bedroom, let's do some dark floral tiles. And I'm just dragging this little thing and putting it here. Then I'm gonna take this one, and I think for your vast space or larger space, whatever it is, do something. You know, we could also do. We could go. So this is what I like to do as well. I go to the other areas for either inspiration or to steal their stuff. Even though this is a, sci-fi map area, I still use this. Worn fancy carpet. Let's make your little area in here Warm fancy carpet. Let's make the texture size smaller. Interesting. I don't really like this color too much. Darker. Okay, a weird groovy purple rug in there. And so kind of like I mentioned, if you go back to our background, if I decide I want to start to paint my whole background, and let's get a grassy thing out here, corporate park, dry grass. I click fill without worrying about my middle area being damaged whatsoever, as long as I don't fill in the foreground. So that makes painting and doing things like that a lot easier, getting these little terrain areas, you know, separated a lot easier. I don't really like this grass. Let's fill it out. Because it's still sometimes I don't like when they don't have like that much texture. I know I say texture a lot, but I'm not really sure what other way to phrase it. This is a watercolor map, so I don't want the grass to look too real. But again, I want it to have texture, so this looks better. So now we've got a bastion, a building. If this was your 4 rooms, we've got doors going into them, got the terrain around it, and we can then start to get into our catalog, to our core, and start to, you know, place things down. So let's say this was your bed here. Come on, it's gonna do. Put a bed there. Let's get you a little desk. And again, I chose the watercolor one because it's very simple, very easy to get into. We've got a lot of little things, a lot of little shapes, and you can make it a room, you know, pretty easy. But like everything else, it's like I said before, it's all about the details that you add in, the extra things and time you spend. The more time you spend, the more you can add, the more details you can look at. As long as you're not over cluttering things or making it look too hectic. You have a lot of nice little things in there, and little by little, with each little bit you add, you start to notice, like, oh, this looks cool. So I'm going to lower this layer here. That way this can go under the desk. And I'm going to rotate it slightly so that it is slightly under the desk. And it can be pulled out. Okay. No detail. I want to add a rug in here too. And I'm sure there's a chest. Oh, there's a rug. Simple rug. So these columns, wall caps. That's what I was looking for before. Clouds, stones, thin walls. Thin walls probably would be better for the bastion, but simple. Let's see. We'll put a simple. Change the color up a little bit. Let's go for a blue. Kind of want it. Okay, so it's layer 2, so the chairs on top. And this is what I described before. I think I described before as like the importance of layering and adding depth and dimensions to things. Gives it the appearance of like, oh, this, you know, this has 3-dimensional space, you know. Just looking because I want this to be like attached, but like not in the wall. Okay, so that's one little room there. Bam. Lock all that stuff. Let's not accidentally delete that. Then we can go to this room, and I don't know why I feel like that's like a little like kitchen. Let's see what we got. We got a castle. Holidays. Gothic horror. One of these chairs would be nice. I don't know what happens in this living room, but you've got a chair like this. We're gonna have a nice Gothic living room. Called chandelier. It's not. sacrificial bowls, an altar. All these people really living it up. Put some tables. Do this like a table in the back there. Tavern. Eggs, cups. Man, I really thought there would be though. I guess pots. Here we go. Stove. Let's say this is our little kitchen area. Okay. A little stove. And this is also one of those things too that just gets like easier the more you do it because you know where to look for things. I'll put this, make this stove a little smaller and put it in that corner. It really looks like this is like a jam-packed area, kitchen. I want to make sure things are the right size too, because like your stove shouldn't be that much bigger than your bed. It's not like I'm recalibrating my sizes. Like, okay, that table, the stove, this and this. Even consistency amongst everything is very hard. Alright, so we've got that space in there. Let's put some crates or something, or benches. Little table, set table. Yeah, here we go. This is like the table that's being used. Maybe racks? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's put this on the wall. Make it a little smaller. Okay, now I feel like I can move this table to the room. Because I also want, again, keeping like design and your player's eyes in mind. Like, I feel like the walkway is gonna be like through here, through here, through here, through here. You don't want to have like, I want to put this table in front of the door, you know? Okay. Then we've added kitchen stuff. We've got tavern, temple, terrain, walls, and stairs. Walls and stairs. Here's the. So again, I'm only using the watercolor battle maps because this has such a strong design. Equipment and tool. And it's kind of easy to like, oh, grab this. I'm gonna grab this tome, put it over here. I don't know why this feels like somewhat of a religious room. Let's move this table back. Might not be the right table. Oh. Okay, that was cool. We can change the color of that. Brightness, values. Don't need any more dungeon. Do we have another rug in here? I think so. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so definitely. I don't know whose house this is, but they've got some stuff going on. Definitely. Kind of like a cultist house. Yeah, that's like where they do their prayers. That's a table. Maybe we see, do we have an instrument? Nina's house? Yeah, probably. Big bed. Curtains. Fancy rugs. Oh, that's what we need. Yeah, definitely for Fino. Fancy rug. Let's work out. Again, I'm gonna fix the layer so that it goes below everything, adding more to that sense of realism and depth. It's a big book. And I'm definitely gonna change this color too. Sort of feels like everything in here is around this color. Don't, you know, can't feel afraid to contrast. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's more important to me that like they blend together and like feel like they get surreal. Then Wind Waker. You know, Wind Waker was never really alright. Come on. Little Root Town. Okay. That's cute. What was I looking for? So I imagine, well, so this is the entryway. Let's just put some crates. And this is another way you can use layering and things like that to make more depth. I'm just gonna put this at 0. I'm gonna put another box on top. Ooh, slightly smaller. And add another. And do the same thing. Slightly smaller and another. Ooh, that's Asian. We can rotate it a little bit. Why not? And all set on top. I don't know why, but I feel like this entryway is like has a little bit of more stuff on it. Bookshelves, bookshelves. And unfortunately, this is what I spend like a lot of my time doing on making maps, is like looking at these shapes over and over again, and I'm like, you know what? Now that looks like something to me. And this is and then for Gothic horror and for your front entryway, maybe you might pick an animal for a rug. Not bad to have when you come in. Just needs one more thing. Just one thing so it doesn't feel like that room is as bare. Wall lanterns, candle holder, a nice trophy head. Actually, that's trophy head. Makes sense. Bare rug. Desk could be a little smaller. Just because this table over here is really, really small. This table is small. This table's pretty big. Okay, that feels better. I'm mainly looking at the boxes too. Head, here. Select all. Control L, locking everything in place. I can't touch anything. I can't mess with anything. So, if you just want the basics, like, that's it. You've got 4 rooms, furnished, colored, floors done, walls done. Really, like I said, like making the walls and just kind of putting them together and starting to lay them out, starting to paste them together, and using these cubes is the easiest way, I think, to get started. Just make sure you're keeping everything neat. But then you just kind of fill it up, and then we can start to add more. And this is where you start to, like I said, you always start to get more, more creative. Make sure that we're in the background. brush. The brush is a lot like painting. I don't have to worry. Look, like I told you before, I don't have to worry about going over here because that's on the different layer. But I am gonna make like a path over here, sort of. So first I'm starting out with green because it's green on green, just to make it so that there's some area where grass doesn't really grow. I'm actually gonna do this around the entire perimeter of the place, just to make it a little neat over here, so people come by. We can add windows, we can add lights and things like that, but right now I'm just gonna focus on doing the outside a little bit. This is the opacity, and this is what I mean by painting. I lower the opacity and I add this line here, and I'm just gonna go back and forth like if I was painting. And you can kind of see if you zoom out, if I was to come in with the full opacity and make this line, it would look like that, which is okay, but it doesn't look as natural. You can't kind of brush out the edges as much. I kind of compare it to getting a haircut and getting like a fade, where it's like, you know, they've got to blend it in a little bit. And so you want your lines to be blended, sort of. Even that, I don't really like, because I don't like how the watercolor tends to make things look. Terrain, dark grass. Yeah, I'd rather grass dry or grass multicolored. Here we go, let's do this. So I'm gonna fill, no, too much. And sometimes it is just like adding in layers and layers and going over again and going over again, because I want it to have a certain look of like being natural. This is really just me being like really picky and being kind of a perfectionist. But I just want this outside area to look like it's walked around when people go through it, and you can kind of see how that's being added here as I'm going through. And all I'm doing is just clicking like if I'm kind of painting, but now it doesn't look as harsh compared to the outer area. Then I'll do this, and we'll go back to the brown, keep it very light, go through here a bit, and where's the dry? Here we go. So, oh, we made a lot of changes. Okay, save. What's the name of this? Fashion example. Okay. So now that kind of looks like a road is there. What if we actually want to build a little road? So many songs. How many times do I remember? Wooden walls, type fence. Okay, castle, stable fences, stable fence gate, stable fence curve. Let's do this little curve here. And let's just say we want to have a little fence around our perimeter. Not even around our perimeter, really, just like around like the front entryway to our house. Take this one. How's that look? Okay, interesting. Then I can take this stable fence gate. Let's put this about here. There are two of these. We flip one around. Flip, flip. There we go. You can go here. You can go here. And I think that's about the distance where it looks like they will close and it'll actually be closed. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of this. I'm going to, oh, that didn't work out. That was gonna work. Okay. Interesting. Well, at least most of the work is still done. I just have to take this side over here. I really don't need that little corner thing, but I like it. We'll put this fence, we'll put this under the, oh, Lavender Town. Hell yeah. Keep lowering this layer. Bam. I don't know why I'm making them a little bigger, but let's see. I'm gonna take this side, lower it a little bit more. I'm actually gonna get another one of these curved boards. Put this corner up here. Sorry. Maybe have little short ones to help extend. How cute. It's so good too, because it's like perfect. Right length. There we go. Now we just need another long boy. So it needs to be that long. Not as far. Lining up. Set here. And this is why the grid comes in handy. Let's make this out there a little bit just so we can add one more short boy. Oh, right. Okay. And the same thing. We lock this. Now we've got a little entrance to our place, little fenced in area. And you can start doing whatever you want here. You know? At this point, I'm gonna put a tree over here because this is our little spot. I want to make sure it's on the right layer, so it's above. I want it to be in the fence. Maybe outside the fence, right? And then we have like a little dog house. I don't know why, but this looks like a little dog house to me. You have like other ones. Yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to be, but oh, they were like windows. Something about this, I don't know, just feels like a little doghouse. Okay, here we go. This is feeling like a lot like a little bit of like a Stardew Valley type situation here. Now I'm just gonna look at everything and see now what are things I want to add. We got a tree outside. Could have a little green hill. And let's see. Dungeon. Wings. Mosaic. Traps. Oh, we could have a pit trap. That'd be cool. Roof damage. Roof damage could very easily be floor damage. That would be pretty cool if we had like a dungeon or something nearby. Catch them. I'll put some boulders. I find like it always helps when you're starting out to put one thing in the corner. I don't know why, but now I'm gonna look at all of Incarnate now, because now that we've got that solid out, we can do other stuff, and I want to look for flowers. So this shows all the flowers that we can choose, and I'm gonna want to pick ones that still match the kind of watercolor look. So take the placement, take the area. Let's get the saturation lowered a little bit. Brightness lowered a little bit. What about their color? I think it's the blend mode is what it is. Oh, they kind of like 4-leaf clovers like this. Oh, I like that. Why are they on this layer though? To be on the bottom layer. So now they'll just look like little plants that are growing up all around here. So again, keep on adding Gerudo Valley. Favorite zones. I'm mainly looking at the watercolor ones just to see if there's anything I actually get from here. But I thought we could look at the other ones. Fantasy battle maps. These flowers aren't bad, but they just look like so very different. You'll see what I mean. If I place this, it kind of looks different from the area here, the style of it. But what I want to do is mess with it a little bit again. I'm going to lower the opacity just a tiny bit. Okay, doesn't blend in as well as like that tree does, looking like the rest here, but it doesn't look bad. The reason I lowered the opacity a little bit is so that some of the color in the background gets in, and that kind of gets some of like the tone in a way. Some of the color bleeds through a little bit, and I need to make it a little blurry. There we go. Too blurry. Level 2 blurry. Fuck. And the last thing I want to do is make a little pond. Song of Storms. We're gonna go to our masking a bit in here again. It's because it's just easier to do. This area. Let's see. We're gonna go to the foreground. We're gonna go to up core. Water blue. Okay, not working. I guess I did not do the right mask. There we go. So you're gonna see this harsh line all around here. Doesn't look good. That's your masking. Enable mask effects. We're gonna turn that off. that just kind of creates that line around there, which we don't really need if we're not having harsh lines and stuff like that. So, hold on, I just want to add like 2 flowers onto this grassy knoll over here, just to give it some color. I say as I take a color away from these flowers. Okay, so we've got our little hole here. We're in the foreground layer. Let's go back to our watercolor. Let's look at the water they've got for us. A teal dark, okay. And they've got water alpha. Oh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good either. Too choppy. Okay, but we're gonna go back to the water alpha because I can go back to the texture and I can make it smaller. Still looks a little too choppy, but maybe I can make it bigger. No, that's not right. What would making it bigger do? Nope. There's other water stuff too. So this is, like I said, but it says that this is the watercolor. I didn't make it infinitely small. That's annoying. Okay, I know what to do. Okay, I'm doing that for a reason. This water needs an edge. Oh, see, this actually looks better. Let me remove that. Add some discoloration here. Thing there. Light waves, streamlines, waves. It's too big, but right here's not bad. Because what I wanted to do, I just wanted to show like there's some water movement in here. This is not going to be very visible, and this kind of looks ugly right now. Water is really hard to work with, I tell you, to try to make it look good and real. Because there's just things about the way that water works that our eyes just are so well adapted to. It's kind of the same thing. If you've ever watched like a movie and you've seen CGI and you're like, ugh, that does not look good. What the hell's happening here? That is because your eyes are adapted to seeing all of this stuff. The CGI, it looks wrong to us, and so we immediately spot it. And you don't need to think about it. It's the same way that your eyes, like, you don't think about catching a ball and think about, well, okay, I gotta do these calculations in my mind, and I need to do this setup, and I need to get this ready. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to look at the ball, and if chances are, if you've experienced catching and have the skills, you just do it. And in the same way, when it comes to these visual effects and visual tricks, our mind is really adept. Our eyes are really adept at catching them and seeing them. Oh, that's out of whack. That's weird. So you want to trick them. Now, obviously, this does not match up with my background here, right? I'm gonna take all these green hills, I'm gonna lock them in place. Cool, now my water stuff can move around a little bit more, make it sure it's in the proper little area here. I can even twist this one around, make it match that a little bit. This doesn't have to be a perfect circle. These don't have to be perfect either. I don't know why I made this side a little bit bigger. So now all I have to do is go back to my masking, go back to my circle, or not even, I can go, oops, polygon. So obviously in the center, needs to be fixed a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. And I could have removed some of these. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep them on this side because this side kind of looks a little bit lighter. It kind of looks like they've gotten maybe some ripples of waves. Push them underneath a little bit. I want it to have texture. I'm always saying that me and texture, driftwood, clean lines. Maybe let's add a little fish in here. I think that'll be a good addition. Olive incarnate. Little fishies. A lot of them are dead. Oh, school of fish. Yeah, but they've got it. Why is there shadow like that? What the heck? Layer shadow. Oh, I know what it was doing. Custom shadow. Vertical offset is, there we go. We're gonna lower the intensity. That's more useful for like the ocean, but I want like a little fish in there. This one. Where's this guy? Here we go. Let's get one of these guys. Single placement. And with the shadows. But the problem is it makes him look like, it's better when it's in the ocean, but right now it's just making him look like he's floating above this, you know what I mean? Because there's not enough on top of him. So we'll lower the layer. Maybe remove the shadow. And let's lower its intensity because it's probably not that visible. Still need one more thing. I don't know what that thing is, but I still need it. Let's look at our fantasy battle maps. Ocean. Jesus, what is going on? Tell you, crazy stuff going. Sea waves, whirlpool, bubble clusters. Ooh, bubble clusters. That little fish got bubbles. I'm gonna lower his opacity. So this will make him look like he's less visible, but it'll also make it look like the water is surrounding him. So he's in there. We're gonna lower the opacity of these bubbles too. And the same with these guys a little bit. It's because the more the opacity you have, the more of the background is coming through. I think one of these, actually. I'm putting it underneath the other layer so that it looks like that. Then it just adds a little bit more movement to this water. Doesn't seem like, oh, it's too much. What are these called? Waves. Let's take all these waves. Super opaque, super not. Oh wait, only one wave is being affected. On all my waves to be affected. There we go. Okay. Now it's a little bit more subtle. Wow. I spent a lot of time on this map that I didn't intend to. I don't know why. But I really enjoyed doing this little exercise. The problem is, like, that's what I tell people all the time. Like, if you tell somebody, hey, draw something, they're gonna be like, oh, look at you. But if you are like, hey, I've got this idea in mind and I want to do this, and give some things to start with, then things can kind of flow from there. And in that same way, I feel like as I start to, do this process, and it's like, oh, we're building a little home. It doesn't need to be anything complex, doesn't need to be crazy, but just that fact, it's just very fun. I'm just gonna do a few little other things here to make this look interesting. You can do like paper, leather, ooh, paper tear. There's one that's like old paper or green. Old paper, here we go. You could reduce this effect a lot, right? But if you fine tune it in, interesting. Yeah, that's not the one I want. A lot of paper tears, a lot of watercolor paper. Here we go. So this is just an effect that goes over everything, and if you look at it, it's like really intense, right? But if you keep it low, it kind of makes everything have like a watercolory effect, even if it's not necessarily part of the watercolor thing, It's down there. I'm not gonna make it that strong. I'm gonna lower it a lot, but having just a little bit of it makes the paper kind of look that way. Should look pretty, or is it overlay? Okay. Color burn, soft light, exclusion, yes. I think it is luminosity. But let's say there's another filter. Let's say we got light filter, vignette green, heraldry. Oh, that's cute. Not the right size though. We're in a portrait, right? Just add this little nice outline here. It's on luminosity right now, so it's green. We can make it gold. But I'm gonna turn it back to the luminosity. It just blends in with the background, is all. But that's gonna be it for our map making stream. Oh, I just realized time. Wow. So I did redo all of the randomization for the Pokemon Nuzlocke, and I think maybe tomorrow, if I have time, I think I'm gonna do another stream of the Pokemon Nuzlocke and make another attempt. I don't think I'm gonna go crazy. If this one doesn't work, then I think that's it. I'll wait a while before I do another one, but I really feel like we had something. Nice to meet you, Klaus. Hello, Klaus. Thank you for coming and joining, keeping me company. Marn, thank you as always. Hope you enjoyed. That's gonna be it for me.